Have you been thinking about joining a direct sales business, but you're not sure how to do that without bugging your friends and your family? Well, stay tuned because that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Coming up. So I have to tell you that this was one of the biggest concerns that I had when I started in direct sales, however many years ago. I saw people that were that way. We all have seen those crazy direct sales people that are always pushing their products, pushing their business, pushing their opportunity. And I wasn't willing to be that kind of person. I was not willing to risk hurting the relationships and the friendships that I had. And I'm not that type of person to push my products or my business on someone else. So I knew that I could not do that. I knew I had to find other ways to be successful. So that's what I set out to do. So the good news is that is an old strategy. We still see it in books. We still see people talk about doing it. We still see people, preaching about making up your list and going through every single person you can possibly think of and put them on that list and then reach out to them about your business. Thankfully, social media changes, society changes. There's a better, newer, much more successful way to do this. So I want you to know that you will never have to do that in your direct sales business to be successful. In fact, those old tactics simply do not work today, which is good news for us because we don't want to do that anyway. But we are still told by some teachers to do this. We're told to talk to every single person that you've ever met, talk to every taxi driver, talk to every hotel worker, talk to every passenger next to you on the plane, talk to every family member. And that is a strategy that not only will sit badly with you, but will not work. And here's the thing, if you feel icky about a strategy for your business, you are not going to work that strategy. And even if you're one of those brave, amazing people that really don't care and you really will just do whatever it takes to reach your goal, even if you are bold enough to talk to every single person, most likely your team members will not be that bold, will not be that passionate. So this strategy really doesn't carry through. It really isn't successful anymore. So thankfully, there's a much better way. There's a way that actually gets you results and allows you to stay true to yourself, which is so important. So the number one thing I want you to understand is that your friends and your family are not your main source for income. They're not your main source for building a successful direct sales business. They're not your main source for building a team. They are a source, but they are definitely not the main source. And I know that's probably mind-blowing because we all think that in the beginning. We all think that it's going to be up to our friends to buy. It's going to be up to our friends and our family to join our business, to make our business successful. And that is simply a myth. If you research those that have been successful in direct sales, maybe you want to look at what your upline has done. Maybe you want to look at someone in another company that is successful, what they have done. Almost all of them can tell you that their business has been built on people that were not their direct friends or family. And I know this sounds crazy, but here's the thing. When we start out in a direct sales business, yes, we will probably start with our friends and our family. But I don't want you to feel like you have to. Because of today's social media, we are no longer restricted by what our friends and family decide to do. We don't have to even mention it to our friends or our family. I can tell you that in my business, I have had two family members join my business. I have had maybe 5 family members or close friends that have purchased from me. That's it. Most of my business, almost all of my team, comes from people that have been outside of my friends and my family, people that I have met on social media, people that I've never even met in person. This is kind of a phenomenon in direct sales. We think that we're going to need our friends and our family to build our business, but I can about guarantee you that 98% of your business and of your team is going to be built on people that you have met on social media or that you have met other places. They're not your close friends, they're not your close family. With the way social media is today, with the platforms that we have available to us to meet unlimited amount of people and share a product with an unlimited amount of people, we can build a very, very successful business without ever having to even talk to our friends or our family. There's emotions attached to close friends or family that simply are not there when you're talking to someone that is a friend on social media. When you're talking to a close friend or family member, you have more emotion attached if they say no. You have emotion attached that, you don't want to bug them, you don't want to bother them. And they have emotion attached to it because they don't want to say no to you. And you kind of know that that's there. So that's kind of what makes it uncomfortable, because you don't want them to feel like they have to buy from you, but you feel like you're supposed to share with them what you do. And you have none of these kinds of emotions when you're talking to someone outside of your close friends and family circle. Maybe it's someone on Facebook that you've been Facebook friends with for a while. You don't feel like they're obligated to purchase from you. They don't feel like they're obligated to purchase from you. If you talk to them about your business, it doesn't feel icky. You don't feel like you're going to hurt your relationship by talking about that. If they say no, they're not really interested, it doesn't really hurt your feelings. It's not anything personal. It's a much more comfortable place to talk to people than the people that are in your close circle. And I had something that happened just this week that really highlighted this for me. I had a Facebook friend, I don't really know her much at all, but we had been talking about my business and she wanted to try a sample, so I sent her a sample. And I had my grandma. Now both of these ladies posted on their Facebook profile about my product, about trying my product and liking it. And I didn't ask them to do this, they just, unbeknownst to me, happened to post the same day. And I can tell you, my grandma's post made me feel just a little bit uncomfortable, because I didn't want my friends or my family or even my grandma to feel like she had to purchase from me. Now, my Facebook friend, her post, it didn't make me feel uncomfortable at all. I was very happy to share my product, share some links with her friends. I did that with my grandma's as well, but you know what? On my grandma's post, I think I had over 20 friends and family that saw the post, liked the post, saw some of the comments. Not one of them became a customer of mine. Over on my friend's post, she and her friend both joined my VIP group and will likely be customers in the future. And I might get business later on from my grandma's post. I really don't know. A lot of the friends and family on there already knew what I was doing. So as I was already planning on talking about this topic, it was a really good example for me of the difference between your family and, in your business, your family and those friends that are kind of outside of your close circle. If you feel better about working a certain way, working with a certain group of people, you're going to work your business a lot more. And I just personally don't feel comfortable pushing my product on my friends or my family. And I'm not comfortable pushing it on people that aren't my close friends or family either, but it just comes across much different to them and it feels much different to me as well. And try to think of it from the other side. If you have an aunt that's selling something and she comes to you about her business, you're gonna feel a little uncomfortable to say no. You're gonna feel a little uncomfortable about the situation. If you have a Facebook friend that comes to you about the same business, you're gonna feel a lot differently toward a Facebook friend. I don't know why it's this way. I think we're just so nervous about, money between family and business between family. I think it just makes us uncomfortable that somehow our relationship's gonna get hurt. So that's what makes us naturally kind of be worried about this kind of relationship, a business type of relationship, a customer type of relationship. So we tend to not want to engage in that with our close friends and family. So I don't want you to feel like you have to go out and push your product to your friends or your family. They should all know what you do, whether it's, just sharing it on your Facebook profile or inviting them maybe to a party. Very, very casually introduce your friends or your family to your business if you would like. But if you can focus most of your attention on those people that are actually outside of that really close circle, you probably will find a lot more success in your business. And a lot of us, because we do think that our friends and our family are how we're going to get successful, what we'll do is we'll reach out to all our friends and family, and then we see, they don't have that much interest, or just a few of them do, and we think that that's it. That's as far as we can build our business, and we just happen to have, not the best group of people for building a successful business. I don't want you to be limited by that. I want you to realize that actually your business is more likely to be built on those people that are outside of that original close circle. So even if we're not talking to our close friends or family, the people outside outside of that really close circle, those people are still our friends. We still want to have good relationships with them. So I don't want you to hear me at all saying that, just be careful about your close circle and the other people, just, it doesn't matter if you bug them. That's not at all what I'm saying. The people outside of that really close circle are going to be more receptive to your business opportunity, and those are actually going to be the people that you're probably going to build your successful business with. But the only way to be successful, even in that outer circle, is going to be with building good relationships, having good rapport with those people. So you still, even though you're going to be maybe a little more upfront about your business, about your products, I still really encourage you to be careful about how you present your business. So there are 4 steps in building a successful business with your social media friends. Number 1 is to build a good relationship. People will want to buy from you. They will want to support you if you are a good human, if you have good rapport, if you have a good relationship with them. Number 2, instead of spamming people, instead of just asking them to buy from you, is to very gently talk about your business and ask them if they would like to try a sample. Offer something free. You're not asking them to host a party. You're not asking them to join your VIP group. You're not asking them to buy from you. All you're asking them about is if you can give them a free gift. So if your company has samples, that is the way to go. And what I like to do is have a conversation on Messenger, get to know the person a little bit, ask them what they do, get to know a little bit more about them, and then they will likely turn the tables on you and ask you what it is that you do. So once you mention what you do, you can ask them, have you ever heard of this company? And maybe they have. You can ask them if they'd like to try a sample. If you can keep it very casual, very low key, that's going to help you to build rapport with this friend. And they might say no now, but they might say yes later. And maybe it's just not for them. Everyone's different. Everyone has different needs, different wants, different things that they like. And that's fine, that's good, that's how we should be. So your product might just not be for them, and that's okay. There are more people than you could ever need on social media that will want your product, that will need your product. So it's just a matter of going out and finding those people. So that's number 2, ask them about a sample. Number 3 is follow-up. Follow-up is key when it comes to direct sales. So after you've sent the sample, it's been a little while, check up on them, see if they've tried the sample. So what I like to do, instead of outright asking, what'd you think of the sample? I will say something more gentle like, hey, just checking to make sure my sample arrived safely, or something like, hey, did you ever get a chance to try that sample I sent you? Something really casual, because a lot of times people have not had a chance to try your sample yet. They've forgotten about it, or they've misplaced it, or they just haven't had time to try it. So once they've tried the sample, and if they love it, they will likely buy from you. And at some point in this conversation, you can share where your VIP group is so they know how to get a hold of you, so they can see more what your company or your product is about. Step number 4, if they love your product, they've joined your group, they've bought from you here and there, then you can ask them about hosting a party, or you can ask them about joining your business. So those are kind of the steps in building a customer base in direct sales. Obviously, there's a lot more to go into that we'll have to talk about in a separate video, but I just wanted to give you kind of an overview of what actually is involved in building a customer base in direct sales. You can see it doesn't involve bugging people, it doesn't involve spamming people, it doesn't involve pushing your product or pushing your company. And if you have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments below. I know exactly what it's like to be worried about having to be pushy to your friends or your family. So if that's how you are too, if you want to have a successful business, but you're really uncomfortable with feeling like you're pushing yourself or pushing your company or pushing your product, I just want you to know that you don't have to do that. You can totally be successful in business and still stay true to yourself and who you are. So I hope that was helpful for you. I will put the link to my video on how to set up your Facebook profile for success right up here. I will put our latest video right down here. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me, and I will see you all in the next video.